this side. All right, there we go. What is up, everybody? NoLucksGiven here, and let me just turn down this music because that is surely overpowering me. What's up, everybody? NoLucksGiven here, and today we are gonna do another Eternal draft. I've been having a lot of fun with playing Eternal on stream. That seems like it's been going pretty well, so we're going to keep that going as soon as I can get my mouse to work here. There we go. So, yeah, we're going to jump into a draft. Not much more to say. I have been looking a lot at some constructed deck lists, and I think we're definitely going to get into that soon. I'm probably just going to do the campaigns off stream, like I said. Maybe I'll just stream them and not really worry about providing commentary or anything because it's pretty old content at this point. But we're going to get into some draft and action. And let's see what we can do. End hostilities. Play a copy of a unit. Tribute, play 2 copies instead. Now this is pretty tricky because this is a pretty expensive card. You do get to use it to copy your opponent's big bombs as well, which is cool. So I do like that. I'm going to read the other cards. I think there's a decent chance I just take it because it is a legendary. I can't imagine I own... Okay, I do own 1 copy of it, which honestly for End Hostilities, it does have Warp too, which I actually kind of just looked over. But, 1 copy of this, I feel like End Hostilities is a card like maybe you put 1 of it in your market or something like that. Sorry, my hair is always... The problem is, you know what your hair looks like in a mirror, but then like it's like flipped in this, and I have way too much hair to begin with. I always wind up... Alright, don't worry about the hair. Don't worry about the hair. Let's draft. Siraf's Choice. What the heck does this do? Double one of your unit's power and toughness this turn as a slow spell for 8 mana. I don't think that is going to cut it. You can also tutor up and double a unit, so that's pretty interesting. That would make it for a pretty insane late game bomb. At the same time, 8 mana feels like so much, and it's in 2 colors. I think we're going to have to skip on that. How about Reality Shift? It also has Warp. Put an enemy unit into the owner's hand, plus an additional enemy unit for each of your units with Endurance. Okay, that's pretty cool, also pretty expensive. If we're willing to take an expensive card, we should just take End of Hostilities, and who am I kidding? We're going to take the legendary card regardless here, because we don't have that big of a collection. Ultimate, make an owl, and it is a 3 mana 1/1 flyer that can become a 3/3 flyer, but not really, especially not in draft. But it comes with a 4/4 flyer. A 4/4 flyer is reasonable, paying 7 mana for it, not so much. Trigger Happy is really cool. No, it's not. No, it's not. I was thinking of a different card. Tribute, Lifesteal is okay. You know what? I'm going to stop reading all these cards. Downfall is okay, but super expensive. And if we're going to take a super expensive card, let's take the legendary. We already know we're doing it. Change Stick seems sick. Vital Arcana is also pretty cool, as is Call the Deck. So we have 2 cards that draw cards that can help us draw into End Hostilities, but Change Stick is just a bomb. It is a removal spell and a finisher all in one, so I'm definitely going to have to take that. What are we missing on Journey Guide, Shiver? Ruination Sledge is actually pretty cool too, but Change Stick seems absolutely sick. Flying Berserk, yeah, this card's okay. It is really, really expensive, though. It's fine if we can get some more buffs on it, but otherwise it's just super expensive. Inspire, units you draw gain flying. I really like that. Entrancer's okay. I kind of like Wormstone as well. It is a little bit slow sometimes in the late game, but if we're playing, what is this, Elysian, then we are going to have no problem triggering the Sandworm here. So it's between Cliffside and Wormstone for me, and Cliffside goes really well in the time decks. I think it might even be better in the time decks than Wormstone is. Obviously, our curve is pretty high here, so we're going to have to pretty heavily favor anything cheap. Here we have a Winchest Merchant, and I only have one, and part of the reason that we're drafting is to kind of build this collection here. We aren't passing up on any good Primal cards in this pack, which is also probably a bad thing, all things considered. I don't think this is like a great draft card, but it's a reasonable draft card. I think Living Example might be a slightly better card, and I think Elysian might work better than Huru. Huru kind of has a lot of flyers already, so you don't really need access to the Change Stick or the Cliffside Caretaker. Point in case we're taking a flying card when so far everything that we have just gives us more flyers, you know? There's not really a huge reason for that, but I think that this is basically, I mean, it's good for our collection, right? And that's kind of part of what we're doing. I think that's reasonable to expect that from most players in draft, that you're going to be drafting somewhat towards your collection. So emulating that here seems fine. And it's actually what I'm trying to do. So this card's sweet. Left, right, Deathstalker. It's a 3-mana 4/4 for a turn. Obviously, you take a damage, but it's still somewhat reasonably anti-aggro. It'll only get to attack as a 4/4 once, but then you have a 0/4 blocker, and it's a cheaper card than anything else that we're dealing with. So some Nightfall cards could wind up being really good for us, though so could just some straight Elysian cards be. 2 damage to each unit, or gain an Aegis and 6 health. All right, let's take a look at some of our other blue cards here. Scout, I don't really care too much about. It is kind of cheap, but I don't know. I also do kind of like Shiver, so I'm not sure if I like Shiver or Circe's Choice better. And give one of your units +3 health while you own this. So yeah, I'm between Sivir and Circe here, and this is an interesting choice, but I don't know, we have some synergies with Shiver already. We're not necessarily locked in to Elysian. I think it will wind up being a good color combination for us, but this is kind of nice in that it keeps us mono faction still. 2 damage to each unit, or 2 damage to... Well, you know, one thing... I mean, we don't really have any units to think about. Does 2 damage kill them all? They're both pretty good anti-aggro cards, too. I'm going to go with the mono-type card. I think that that's probably just going to be a safer bet. Here we don't really pick up anything. I'm tempted to just pick up the cheapest card in a Drifter here. I don't hate Oni Eulogist. I think that's what this... That's Eulogist, right? Like, oh yeah, somebody talking at a funeral? Is this a battlefield? And they're kind of just talking here? Yeah. That's a Eulogist. I think I'm just going to take Drifter. This is nothing special, but if we wind up wanting some cheap cards, yeah, that'll definitely come in handy. We have Mind Rot, some Tribute. All right, Tribute, stun an enemy unit. This guy gets plus attack equal to that unit's attack. That's interesting. Probably the best card. You do have to lose a creature to use it, but it's always possible. 1 less for each spell in your void. Honestly, we could make this work. Shamanic Blast. I mean, we already have a decent amount of spells here, right? Yeah, all right. I'm willing to give Shamanic Blast a shot. Tribute or Snowballs do count towards that as well. So you can't even play this card turn 1, and they have Reckless. I think I'm gonna, I don't know, like this is the best card, the Umbran. Yeah, I'm gonna take this. We don't know what our second color is yet, but, ooh, you know what? Campfire Watchman seems sweet just to get us to the late game. Yeah, I'll take that. Ambush 2-1, blech, or light 'em up. I guess I'll take the Ambush 2-1. When you play a spell, this guy gets +1/+1 and flying. I actually do like this card. You need a decent amount of flyers to actually make it work, but it's cool. Then we get another legendary. This one is going to be purely a rare draft here, because unless I can get a lot of fixing, I mean, don't get me wrong, this card is insane. But we're just nowhere near its colors right now. We're not really missing anything great. Hero of the People is cool, but like in our deck right now, it's a 2/2 flyer for 3 mana. I don't think that that's like super great. Caleb's Choice is a really good card. You negate a spell with an enemy with one faction, or kill an attachment with one faction, but it doesn't touch creatures, so it's not like great in draft. It winds up still being pretty good, but nothing to go too crazy over. Yeah, I'm just gonna take the legendary here. No reason not to. I'm not gonna hide it yet either, because maybe there's a chance we could pick up some fixing and make this work. I don't know. We still need... we're still not really even in a second color. So I guess Jin is fine. Fearless Yeti also seems good here. You always get to scout once, and worst case scenario, it's a 2-mana 3/1. So, yeah, that seems fine to me as well. Sky Snapper's good. Oni Ronin is also really good, and we could wind up playing Drifter and Oni Ronin, of which Oni Ronin is definitely a lot better. But otherwise, I don't think any of these cards really stick out. I mean, Sky Snapper's pretty good, right? So the question is, do we try to make this Imperial Armorer work and take Oni Ronin, which is a better card in a vacuum? But if you're not playing Oni Ronin turn 1, like, if you're playing Oni Ronin turn 3, it's worse than Sky Snapper. If you're playing Sky Snapper turn 3, it's worse than an Oni Ronin on turn 1, obviously. But altogether, I feel like we kind of have the means to maybe just keep going aggressive here. Like I said, the Cliffside Caretaker and the Change Stick, these cards wind up being pretty weird when you're just mono Primal or Hooru. But I don't know. I don't think Oni Ronin helps us play Aijin here. Like, this card is great late game, too. So, just having it as a late game threat, I think, could also be really good. Something like Rakano Banner would be really good. Second Sight is also reasonable. Let's take a look at this card. Exhausted to give one of your Yeti, okay, +4 attack and flying, and then at the end of your turn, stun that Yeti. So you need a lot of Yeti to make that work. We do have at least one Yeti already. Yeah, we've got one Yeti already. But I'm not a giant fan of the Jotun Punter here. I think Teriax Hatchling might be a decent pickup. We could take Rakano Banner to go along with Aijin here. But I think just Teriach... This card's tough to say. It's a tongue twister to begin with. But Teriax Hatchling, I think, is going to be the pickup here. Obviously, Second Sight goes very well with Hatchling. We don't really have anything that's insane with the Hatchling immediately. And, yeah, otherwise we just have Scout. Campfire Watchman wins. We don't really have to go in this direction. But, yeah, I think the Hatchling is a fine pickup. So let's take the Hatchling here. When it attacks, if the top card of your deck is a spell, you get to draw it. I think that's good, but I don't think that's better than another hatchling. And I'm happy to just go into Elysian here with a bunch of hatchlings. Like I said, some of these Grant flying cards go really well with time cards. Flying Warcry, your units wielding weapons are deadly. I'm going to take it here just to kind of rare draft. I know I've got 9 of them, and I don't really dust my cards anyways, but in theory, we're not going to play any of these cards, right? I'm not going to play Excavation Assistant, not in a million years, so let's just take this for small, mediocre dust gains here. A Scaly Gruon could be good, you know, having some of these 2-mana cards that kind of clog up the ground and then attacking your opponent with flyers can be really good. We learned the hard way that Amaran Shoveler does not say Sentinel or Sigil. It says Sentinel or Relic, which sometimes I get confused on. So I'm going to take Scaly Gruon here as a 2-drop. We could take Winter's Grasp. It's okay. We're probably not going to be playing this, but I'll take it nonetheless. And another punt here. Sure, it's in our colors, but I'm going to hide it immediately because there's no way that we're going to play it. Scrap Hound's really sweet. But I guess I will take the Ice Knuckle Jotun. I'm not totally convinced that I'll play it, but it is a reasonable card to end hostilities on, maybe, too. You do actually want some big monsters for this, believe it or not, even though we have yet to draft any. But then we get some Umbran Thirsters at the end of the pack here. Cover of Darkness was a pretty neat card, but we're not in those colors, so what am I talking about? Jotun Hurler gives us a snowball when we draw it. That's pretty free, so I do like that. And then we also have Scorpion Wasp as a removal spell. Right now we're like base primal splashing time. So I'm not super excited about Scorpion Wasp here, kind of an off-color removal spell. And honestly, Jotun Hurler's fine. It's a reasonable card for us to give flying to. And it's a cheap spell, which works with Gale Prowler and works with, I guess it does work with Ice Knuckle Jotun as well. And yeah, for those reasons, I think we're going to take Jotun Hurler. I thought we had one more card that cared about our spells, but now I'm not sure. So here we have a pretty tough pick because I can take Crest of Impulse, which my impulse is to take that because it would be a really, really good card in our collection. But we also have access to Yeti Troublemaker, Backlash, and another Teriax Hatchling, as well as this. Pay 4 to give it +1/+1 for each of your Yeti, which at least it's going to give itself +1/+1, and then each of your Yeti deals 1 damage to the enemy player. So at the very least, it's 4 mana to make it a 4/4 and hit him for 1. Well, that's not super great when you put it in those terms, because it's an ultimate. You can only use it once. It's not a repeatable effect like Aijin here. The Crest seems really good, though, and honestly, I'd play it, even just as a comes into play depleted sigil here. And I don't even know if I'd take the Teriax Hatchling or the Yeti Troublemaker. My impulse is that I would appreciate the Hatchling. Oh, that's really tricky. I'm not even sure if I'm going to be playing the Hatchlings. I know I would definitely play the Troublemaker, so that's like the safest pick. I'm probably going to play the Hatchlings, right? I've really used to enjoy the Hatchlings in draft. Obviously, if my opponent drafts a flyer or something like that, then they can kind of next level you there. And then there's this Life Force card. We're definitely not playing that. You know what? I think I'm going to rare draft. I think the purpose of this is to build my collection, right? I think a lot of people would rare draft here, so I think that that's a pretty defendable pick. Okay, then we have Elysian Banner, and we have Twilight Hermit. So we only have 2 Nightfall cards right now, but it's a 2/2 that turns into a pretty solid card. I think I want Elysian Banner. I don't know. I could really see this pick going either way. Have to skip on the Huru Banner, unfortunately. Can't rare draft the premium cards, even though they might be worth a little bit more. I don't even know what the disenchant values of cards are when I'm like doing these rare drafts. But the crest is something like that I actually want. I only have 1 of these. So part of doing these drafts is picking up the quests. So we should definitely draft them. Bold Adventurer. Oh, I did not mean to hide the Elysian Banner. Bold Adventurer seems good here. I could also take Predator's Instinct, of which that really only goes on like the Jotun Hurler. Maybe it could go on the... I mean, it works cool with the Gale Prowler because it's a spell. And what else does it go well on? Oh, the Deathstalker, right. So, yeah, I could see that. I mean, we have a lot of 2-drops already, right? We've got Scaly Gruon, Fearless Yeti, and Campfire Watchman all on 2. I don't think I need, like, my splash 2-drop. Sure, let's take Predator's Instinct. I do really still want a big monster that is time. Like something like that 7/8 or something would be really great. A 7/8 would be really great. Violent Gust seems good. Crafty Yeti's also okay, especially with some hatchlings in the deck. But I think I like Violent Gust. I was just thinking about that. I think I even mentioned it when we saw our 3rd hatchling that like maybe we want to be able to kill out their flyers as well. I'm not going to play Initiate of the Sands in the splash, so let's just take Ground Crew as our rare draft. And then we get Elysian Banner or another hatchling. I think this time I'm going to take the hatchling over the banner. A little bit weird of a pick order here where I like take the banner over a rare draft and then take a rare draft over the hatchling. But then I'm willing to take the hatchling over the banner. But don't mind that. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain here. None of these cards can go in the deck. And we're pretty much done here. I mean, I guess I just take a torch because there shouldn't be a torch this late in the pack. But I'll take a Feln Banner. Because why not? Whenever you play another dinosaur, gain 1. I don't think that's going to happen. Gain 1. I guess there's no reason not to play Amber Waystone, right? I don't think we're going to be playing Hissing Spiketail. And this isn't really that great because we don't have any real things to go with it. This guy cannot be silenced. Your other cards can't be silenced while you have Lyda's Apprentice. Well, that is a legendary. Oh gosh, there's a legendary, but then we see 2 actual good cards in the pack with Dusk Raider and Change Stick. Dusk Raider works really well with like Sky Snapper, especially with Sky Snapper. And it's even fine with Gale Prowler, I think, and definitely with Cliffside Caretaker. And then we also have access to Change Stick. I don't think I can rare draft this one. I mean, do I just take every legendary? Is that... do you just have to do that? What is the... what do you even get for disenchanting a legendary minion? I gotta check that out here. I know, I mean, I think I just take all the legendaries, right? So what do I get for disenchanting a legendary? I get 800, so What is that? It means it's 1/4 of an actual legendary. That means I basically got a legendary for free with this draft if I take it. And then, I mean, on the other side, I'm also never going to disenchant it. So it's like kind of a moot point. Like I would have rather just gotten another crest or something because I'm not actually going to disenchant this. At the same time, it is a Borderland Ranger. So that's fine. I mean, we will play it in the deck. Sure, I'll take it. It seems pretty mediocre compared to all the other things. I think Dustwalker was, or Dustcrawler was definitely a better card, but yeah, we'll give it a shot. Gruon form is good. Tribute +2/+2 is reasonable. Yeah, okay, it was Duskgrader. Okay. Ground form is like a neat trick, especially on Sky Snapper. And then we can also put it on Gale Prowler to get in for 5 at some points. 2 mana 4/4 is neat. We're definitely not taking Initiation Bell here, though. I don't know. I think I like the Trumpeteer, and I think we'll actually play it. Or it's a Trumpeter. It's actually a Trumpeter, isn't this? I think... Would Trumpeter have 2 T's? Well, now we gotta Google Trumpeter. I mean, I'm assuming it's right if it's in there, but I'm gonna call this the Trumpeter. Yeah, alright. Apparently this is spelled correctly. Who would have known? But yeah, let's take Peter and go forward with that here. Alright, we got a crazy big monster here. Overwhelm 4/4, pay 8 to make each player discard their hand and draw 8 cards. Cool, but I don't really want to mess with that right now. We can take another Gale Prowler, a Scavenging Spikeback, or a Cliffside Caretaker. Again, Cliffside Caretaker kind of falls by the wayside. I'm not even sure if I'm going to play Cliffside Caretaker because every card in this deck already has flying. So, I don't know. Why play this? Gale Prowler seems fine, but maybe I would just rather have a 3/3. Or, rather have a 3/3 that can potentially come up 5/5. We don't have, like, that many spells. Oh, this was my other Spells Matters card. Was Shamanic Blast. Shaman! I'm probably not going to be playing Disjunction. This is tough. This is pretty tough. I think I like the Spikeback, though. Donald Trumpeter. Very silly. 1 damage to each enemy. That could be pretty decent in some games. Give one of your units Berserk. Works well with the Gale Prowler. You get in for 8. But then it kind of has to kill itself after that, which can work well as well. Pay 1 and sacrifice this guy to deal 2 damage to the enemy player. I don't like this. It's interesting that it triggers your tribute, but I don't like that. I think Gift of Battle or Torrential Downpour is where we want to be. I could see Torrential Downpour being pretty good. It would be really good against us, right? So, there's a chance it's a decent card. I don't think we need Advanced Scout. I think we're good on 3 drops. I'm not even sure this deck needs to play End of Hostilities, because I think we can just, like, make it a lot cheaper without it. Gift of Battle, it's not, like, crazy good in this deck. I still want 1 big time monster, and I have to assume that that's going to come, right? I think I'm going to take Torrential Downpour. I think it's probably the best card, but I'm not sure yet. Choose one of the 4 highest cost cards in the enemy player's deck. Oh, that's neat. I mean, I'll take it. We're not going to play any of these other cards. I don't think we're going to play Shamonic Blast at this point. So we'll take the citywide ban. Transform a unit into a 3/3 dinosaur with Overwhelm. Another Cliffside Caretaker. Put an enemy unit with flying back into their hand. I could see playing Substitute, but I don't love it. I think this is just a rare draft because I don't think we're going to play even our 1 Cliffside Caretaker at this point. I'll just take Substitute, but like I said, I don't think that we're going to play it here. A 2/2 with Killer. This is fine. Tribute, create and draw a snowball. No, thank you. Grave Tender's okay if you trade off some flyers with your opponent. But we already have so many 3-mana flyers at the same time. I'll take it, but I don't think we're going to play Grave Tender here either. Units get +2 health this turn. That's reasonable. The First Frost Shaman, also reasonable. I'll take Huddle Together because it's a spell, but I don't think that we're going to wind up playing that one either. Yeah, I don't think that we're going to play that. And yeah, we got a lot of cards that we are not going to play. Hopefully, we've got enough to play a full deck. And yeah, looks like looks like we're a little bit short on playables. Looks like Hissing Spiketail is probably going to make its way into the deck. That's kind of awkward when they highlight the green cards for you and you know you're not playing those. So we might play Huddle Together. We might play Torrential Downpour. What else did we cut? Winter's Grasp. I think Winter's Grasp was probably a fine cut. So if we play all these, this is 15. This is a 19 land deck already. And yeah, this is definitely on the light side as far as playables go. Let's just take a look at everything. We can play this, but that doesn't help us anywhere. Yeah, we're not going to play any of those cards. Definitely not going to play any of those cards. Could play Grave Tender, I suppose. Just so that we're only playing 18 lands. I mean, 19 lands is fine. So this is 3 power. So this is 18 lands already. We could cut a card and then go back up to 19 lands. One of these cards is probably bad, right? That guy's fine. Honestly, our first pick, End of Hostilities, is like pretty mediocre. How I'm hoping or how I'm potentially seeing some of this stuff working is just like us attacking with a bunch of flyers and then they trade off, hopefully, with one of them, and then we copy another flyer, another set of flyers. But like this is probably just going to wind up copying the Hatchling, which is obviously not super powerful. Yeah, at which point Grave Tender's fine. I think that this is fine. 18 lands. We have 2 expensive cards. We have 3. We have Ice Knuckle Jotun as well. But Shamanic Blast makes itself cheaper. And yeah, this does have Warp, so we kind of want that. But we don't have anything big outside of that. So yeah, this seems fine to me. Let's add power to it. And yeah, it's going to give us a pretty heavy, so it's a 4-12 split. Actually, it's a 5-12 split because we're playing this crest of... Yeah. Normally we'd if in like constructed and stuff, this card can be a lot more powerful. But yeah, in this deck we're just running with it. Yeah, I have seen this card see some constructed play. So we've got a 5-12 split on primal sigils, which is actually a 6-13. That seems pretty reasonable. We have the Trumpeter. I guess that's only our double card. And neither of these really have to get played super early. And yeah, that's fine. We could even put in one more time sigil, I think, just to make sure that we can play our hatchlings. This seems fine. This is a 12-7 split. Yeah, I mean, I have 3 Terriax hatchlings. That card is so tough to say. Sometimes I'm on it. Sometimes I'm in a good zone and I can get Terriax hatchling on the first try. I thought I could sneak it in there when my brain wasn't paying attention, but that's not going to happen. We are up against a top 100 drafter. We have Fearless Yeti. We will get a Snowball as well. So that'll help our Fearless Yeti get through. I think this hand's fine. I would love another Primal Sigil, but bearing that, I think that we're still doing pretty okay. Now, I think he knows that we have a Snowball. I think that that's how this works. But I'm not super sure. But turn 2 Fearless Yeti, I think, is a pretty good start in terms of making sure that we are attacking through here. I would love to smash once we have this. I don't think he's going to block with this guy, though. I mean, this guy's got Inspire, right? Yeah, there's no real reason for him to block here. He doesn't know that we don't have our second sigil yet. So yeah, he probably lets that go through. Now this next turn, we are definitely going to keep this on top. This next turn, when he sees that we don't have this, that we don't play a second sigil, now he might be a little bit more tempted to block. But at the same time, getting quick draw on all of his cards is pretty gnarly. And that's going to give him a potential, well, it's going to give him a Sabotage. So he can take our Predator's Instinct from us now. But that's not huge. So now I think I just attack with this Yeti, and then I play a Trumpeter. That's what we're calling it. Alright, so let's swing with this guy. He's assuredly going to trade with the Delinquent. Oh, that's even better for me. Okay, so he's got some other fancy stuff going on here, if that's what he wants to do. Let's put this on the bottom, hope to draw into some more lands, and then let's play Peter, and Peter is a 4/4. Okay, yeah, there we go. We figured he had to have some synergies, right? If that was the route that he was going. So we can Killer plus Snowball this. I can also just play Hissing Spike Tail and pass. Quick Draw only works when attacking, right? Yeah. I don't really want to swing into both of these things because I have this Snowball. At the same time, I do have another 4/4 coming. Alright, let's attack. I don't think that he's going to block. I think that he just didn't want to attack with his 3/3 because he didn't have good attacks. So now he does have good attacks. He will go to attack with this 3/3, but now this 3/3 is in a... Oh, okay. Well, we kind of get punished a little bit there, but my opponent is going to trade 3 damage for 4 damage when we are on the offensive here, so I like this. We put them down to 13, then drop a 4/4. Nothing too crazy here. Ooh, a 2/3 lifesteal. Well, we can take this down with a snowball. When the enemy player discards a non-power card, this guy gets +1 attack, pay 10 to make the enemy player discard the top 15 cards of their deck. All right, this guy's got a lot of crazy things going on. But I'm just not going to discard a non-power card, I don't think. So, yeah, should be okay. So I think Spiketail, or Hissing Spiketail? Yeah, Hissing Spiketail might wind up trading with the Dream Snatcher here. We can't Shiver just yet. If my opponent double blocks this, then we can Shiver and take down their other guy. So this attack is definitely free, and if it goads them into a double block, that could be really good for us. I could see holding back the Spiketail just to make sure we can take out the Dream Snatcher. But I might take Snowball, and that's the other play, is I could trade Snowball. I kind of want them to double block, and then for me to be able to Shiver for the blowout. So I'm going to try for this, see if my opponent is willing to double block here. They are not willing to. I'm not sure here now. I definitely want to play this Rabid Yeti. Do I want to take out the Dream Snatcher? That'll put my opponent up to 11. Come on, let me do this. Okay. Whew, almost ran out of time there. But we did it. That was, I don't know. I maybe could have done that a little bit better. Oh, this card's sweet. This card's sweet. I get to ramp. Very cool. And now because I get to ramp, I get to come in and stun the Refracted Sentinel and then attack with both of my creatures here. Oh no, Spark Stun. Oh, Spark Stun? Oh, I should have saved my Snowball. This card is Spark Stun? What the hell does that even mean? Alright, I think my opponent's just going to trade off some cards here, which is annoying. But their life total's just so low. The fact that they didn't attack means that they're definitely planning on trading this off. I think we just attack with this one. No, I should have attacked with... Okay. I don't know. I don't know. They chump blocked? Yeah, because they really wanted to play Trigger Happy here. What does Trigger Happy do? Oh no, they didn't even play Trigger Happy. They just gave this guy Deadly. No blocks. I can take 9. That's fine. Weird. So I think I actually do this just for the Nightfall damage here. No, I can Nightfall next turn for lethal. Yeah. And if my opponent attacks, then I block here, because that means that they could have 4 points of burst somewhere. Like the Combust, the card that they discarded and then played Burnout. I'm not sure. Oh, I definitely could have just played Ice Knuckle Jotun that turn, right? That would have been a much better play. Just stun this. Yeah, I think my opponent's just out of options, out of ideas. I don't know why they didn't... I mean, I guess if they had so many of these things, then that was just the only play that they saw fit. But that's pretty good. We're going to knock somebody out of the top 100 drafters with a mostly mediocre deck here. And that's going to give us some MMR boost. And, yeah, I never even read that card because I realized that he wasn't actually playing it. He was just doing the other part of it. So it's a little bit annoying to not be able to play Peter because Peter was so good for us last game. I'm going to redraw this hand. I think we can do better. Okay, well, we got Peter and we got the double Primal Sigil, so that part is nice. We get a Snowball, so that's kind of nice, and we get a Hatchling, so a lot of free cards here. Blind Storyteller is going to get snowballed on, and I think it has to. Otherwise, we would be discarding a card here, so that seems fine. As long as we don't draw another hatchling. That's the only thing I don't want to draw at this point. I don't know. Do I just run out of 2/2? I think I do. I think I do. Yeah. Oh, God. All right. Well, I'm glad that I ran out my 2/2 then, because otherwise we would definitely be discarding here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'd have 9 cards. I don't know when you have to discard. If you have to discard at 9 or if you have to discard at 10. We're just going to do this block for a while. I could double block and trade my Sky Snapper for Wild Rider. I don't know. I think we're okay with this. That's annoying. Yeah, we just didn't draw anything this game. So, yeah, this guy's just going to stay back and block the 1/4. 6, 6, 6. What is... Yeah, 6, 6, 6. We'd have them now. 6 is divisible by... Or 6 goes into 24 and then has a remainder of 1. Wait, if I don't play this, do I have to discard? Okay, I don't yet. But this this redraw is looking not super hot for us, but we draw a Combre spell. Yeah, all right, there's the combat trick. It was coming eventually. Well, I guess I play a change stick. That's a little bit unfortunate. So we have our opponent dead here now in 5 turns, but they're going to have us dead a lot sooner. Not really because of that, but just because this guy is going to keep getting bigger. If we can play a Jotun Hurler or a Spiketail ASAP, we're okay. Okay, a depleted Sigil isn't the best, but it lets us know what we're going to draw next turn. And I think I actually do want this Primal Sigil, right? Yeah, that lets us play a 4/4, and a 4/4 is pretty good. So now we'll start slamming this guy. And putting the change stick on our 4/2 actually winds up being pretty good here. So next turn we're just going to play Jotun Hurler. Okay, they take out our actual threat. I might have to trade here. We have so many hatchlings. One of them is going to trade with this 1/1 eventually, right? Yeah, we're going to wind up trading with this 1/1 eventually. So let's do it now. Then we're going to play a Jotun Hurler. The next turn we'll be able to play Predator's Instinct plus Hissing Spiketail. Wait, these are all dinosaurs. Holy moly, did you guys realize that? Did you guys realize I drafted Dino Tribal this whole time? You guys knew it, didn't you? Oh, this is dirty. Okay, let's take out this 3/4 just so that we don't have to deal with it later. It does mean that the Hissing Spiketail has good attacks, or Scavenging Spikeback. Cut Ties. They're actually going to take out the Spiketail because they know we've got some hatchlings. All right, so we're not in a great spot here, but we have stabilized. Our opponent has no good attacks now, and we should be able to just overwhelm them with card advantage here slowly. A 5/5 is pretty nice, but yeah, like I said, I don't know. This is some good card advantage. So I'm gonna play the Sky Snapper and a hatchling so that we can start getting damages back in. If my opponent all out attacks, I will trade the Spiketail for this 5/5 though, while we have the opportunity to do so. Okay, well, we're going to wind up trading our 3/1 for this 2/1 here then. That's not necessarily true. Oh, holy moly. Okay, this is exactly how we drew it up, boys. We swing with this guy. They trade, and then we get to make two more 4/4s with killer. Oh my gosh, we've done it. So we are going to... This is insane. Oh, this is so good. We're going to keep back one Teriax. Perfect. Just like we frickin' drew it up. Okay. And now we play this on Jotun Hurler. And we get two 4/4s with killer. Which is much better than we could have ever asked for. We will have to chump block my opponent's 7/7 if they attack, but then we have lethal attack backs, and we've stabilized. I thought we weren't going to win this one, but looks like we've done it. My opponent does not have unblockability. That was a sweet game, and why you don't give up, that's going to be a Clipperino for YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, you can catch me live on twitch.tv/NoLucksGiven, and thank you very much for watching. For everybody on Twitch, let's get back to some more games. That was a sweet one. Who honestly was expecting me to win that one? I mean, you can just hear it in my voice sometimes. I write it off and I'm like, oh god, this is not good. But that was indeed pretty good. So a 2-0 start to this draft. I'm excited about that, and we'll see how many wins we can get. That was about as good as End Hostilities is going to get in this deck, but yeah, it was good. I'm happy about it. Alrighty, this hand looks good as well. And Scaly Gruon is also a dinosaur to go along with our Hissing Spiketail. So yeah, I'm going to keep this hand. We've got a solid 1-2-3 curve. We don't have, or not 1-2-3, 2-3-4 curve. This is interesting. Berserk. But it's Tribute, create, and draw a snowball. So this is just going to get Gruoned on, which is totally fine. We're going to play turn 2 Gruon and eat this guy up because I assume my opponent is going to Reckless this if they play it turn 1. Yeah, pretty safe assumption there. So we take 2 damage, and then we get to just gobble this up with our Scaly Gruon. Flying, you can discard it to create and draw a second sight. That is going to trade with our Sky Snapper, assumedly, and then let us make a 3/3 Grave Tender. But, yeah, that's also a favorable outcome for us here, too. Alrighty, so we get to eat up this 1/1. And then we take 1 damage from the flyer. And then we will just play a Sky Snapper here. And we can smack for 1 as well. That's not going to hurt us. My opponent just played Second Sight last turn, and they discarded a Spore Breath, which is a fine card to discard in the early game here. So my opponent will keep their 1/1 back, we assume. And then we'll trade into it because we have to, with our Reckless creature. And that's a pretty good draw as well. So let's trade off these guys here, and then we'll play a 3/3 flyer. Haha, baited. And I'll hang on to my Amber Waystone for a little bit here, but I'm not really expecting to get the bonus. Karenzi, thank you very much for the follow, my friend. Appreciate it a lot. Thank you, everybody else, for watching the stream as well. Tribute, Gale Prowler. I think I want to play Hissing Spiketail. That would let us tribute the Scavenging Spike back on the next turn. So yeah, let's just play Spiketail. We're going to continue to hit our land drops because if we draw a land next turn, we'll play a double Teriax. Oh, they have a combat trick. Lightning strike. Okay. Well, that was a mistake. That was definitely a mistake. We could have just played the spike back that turn. Got a little bit distracted on the Twitch side of things, but that's why you should attack first and play your cards post-combat. Sometimes you just forget. You get distracted. You got other stuff going on, but it happens, right? So this is pretty free. If we connect, then we get to Spark. If we don't connect, we get to Tribute and make a 5/5. Flying at night. Okay. Yeah, let's see what happens here. I think we can expect a trade. So I technically could still just stun this, but I think I'd rather just play a tributed monster. I don't know. This is mana efficient. Alright, fine. We'll stun it. I think we'll have other opportunities to tribute this. Really, we should have had that 5/5 out there already. Yeah, a little bit unfortunate. I think it then maybe would have just traded off with this 5/5, which it looks like it might already do anyways because this is a 5/3. Alright, and we don't have any great attacks here. Berserk and Lifesteal. Yeah, let's just play a Sky Snapper and a Dino Boy. And then we'll sit back. My opponent does not have any really great attacks here. Jotun, Ice Knuckle Jotun does a really good job of holding down the ground in this late game, especially against 5/3s and 3/4s. My opponent does not have any good attacks as far as I see it, and then we'll be able to just start swinging for 5s in the air. Maybe get Gale Prowler online, start swinging for even more soon too. Lifesteal is good. Lifesteal could hurt us. 2 damage to an enemy for each of your Yeti, and then what does it also do? You may pay 2 and exhaust it. Oh, for each of your Yeti, but my opponent doesn't have any Yeti, then I take it? Alright. So that's fine. Yeah, that's a pretty good draw. That's why I like Teriak's Hatchling. My opponent pretty much just traded 1-for-1 with what was basically a Hatchling, and then we drew 2 more. So, Teriak's Hatchling is a really strong card in draft. They have a Sky Snapper. You know what that's going to do? Trade 1-for-1 with a Hatchling, and oh my gosh, these End Hostilities have been insane. My opponent is for sure going to trade off here because they know we have got another one, right? Yeah. So they trade off, and now I can make 2 more Ice Knuckle Jotuns and just stun down my opponent's whole team? That's got to be better than a Spikeback, right? Yeah, Spikeback still just trades with this. Oh, I can... Oh, you're totally right. I totally forgot I could make their guys. Oh, did I miss something even sweeter last game, too? Sure, we give them a flyer here, but then I get 2? I mean, it's going to be night for a long time here, which is a little bit awkward, but 2 5/3 flyers seems great, even if we give their guy flying for a little bit here. Okay, Wisdom. We drew them into Wisdom of the Elders. That's fine. We definitely just double block Corrupted Umbran whenever that guy decides to attack. Alright, another Sky Snapper, so my opponent has gotten out of it, but you know what? Torrential Downpour will deal with the Sky Snapper and mean that they have to trade off with the Gargoyle themselves. I'm pretty sure I play Torrential Downpour pre-combat because otherwise they just get to trade off here. So let's play Torrential Downpour pre-combat here. It also means I could technically swing with this. We're going to put this on the bottom. And yeah, my opponent's going to trade with one of my 5/3 flyers, at which point I will play a 5/5. Yeah, seems good. Downpour's good, man. So we hit my opponent for, what is this, 12 here, down to 2. and then I will play a 5/5. So my opponent pretty much has to attack with Corrupted Umbran here into this, or they just lose. Yeah, so this gains them 3 life points. That is the only reason that they are doing this. So they go up to 5. We could have just played another flyer to play around all of this, but I figured getting the 5/5 out on the battlefield that I should have played, 10 turns ago can't be that bad. And that makes us 3-0 here with some kind of crazy Elysian brew. End Hostilities. This is an End Hostilities draft. Or is that what it's called? Or is it called End of Hostilities? 3-0 with End of Hostilities. That card has been a lot more impressive. I knew you could copy your opponent's card. Yeah, I've warped it twice. I've warped it and tributed it twice, which is insane. I knew you could do it on your opponent's monsters because I've seen that happen to me in Constructed. But yeah, it's just been dirty. Super dirty both times. And it's kind of to thank, I guess, for the fact that we've been able to warp it both times that we've seen it on top of our deck. We were kind of light on playables, so we wound up playing a bunch of lands in our deck, or a bunch of sigils, and or power, a bunch of power. And that might not have been something that we would have done if we had like a few more playables. I mean, if we wound up with like 3 more playables, there's a chance End of Hostilities and some of our bigger cards didn't even make our deck in like an ideal scenario. But all of the pieces have come together just perfectly and have been super great for us. Pretty good stuff. Pretty good stuff. And that makes us 3-0 in the draft. Hopefully we can finish it up all on this stream here. But if not, you can hit that follow button to be notified when I go live in the future and catch me live then. We're going to keep this one. Seems good enough. We've got the Hatchling Grave Tender combo. A little bit slow on this hand. We do have a few 2-drops in the deck that I'd potentially like to draw. Hopefully we're not on the back foot by a super aggressive player already, but looks like we won't be. Yeah, let's just lead with the Primal Sigil. I don't think we're ever going to get the Amber Waystone to trigger. At the same time, it's still free. Play 3/01 Sheep. What the heck does that mean? Okay, let's just play another Primal Sigil. So I think I'm going to wind up playing a turn 3 Darkstalker here. The Hatchlings are good, but I want to hit my 4th land. All right, well, now that I've drawn my 4th land, that's kind of interesting, right? Now I'm tempted to just go Hatchling. The fact that my opponent has all of these sheep means that I'm not going to be able to connect for 4 with the Darkstalker. It really just means this is going to be a defensive card that I can play to be a reasonable blocker for 1 turn in the late game. Well, now I want to eat their Initiate of the Sands. That's one of the best things, one of the best things you can eat with Killer. And I don't know what my opponent's got going on. I mean, I'm assuming we're going to see some Global Pump. Wow, they're just all in on tokens. This is crazy. This is pretty scary. I'm not going to lie, because I have no idea what's going on here. I'm going to play the Spike Tail because next turn if we hit another power, we'll be able to develop some more cards here. We'll be able to play 2 3-drops. Yeah, the sheep are a little bit annoying, but I don't know what they're doing. I mean, I'm not scared if they're just 3 chump blockers. Sure, they're 3 chump blockers that you can pay for 2 mana. Now, I have to imagine we're seeing like a tribute effect here, right? That's the only thing I can think of is a tribute. There's a lot of reasonable tribute cards in this color combination. All right, they have a Darkstalker themselves. So I kind of like the tribute aspect and thus want to send in my Spiketail. I guess before I do that, I should play my own Hatchling. So Spiketail's really just going to trade with Snowcrust. But that's fine. Trading my 4-drop for a 2-drop isn't great, though, right? I feel like I just have this game locked up with so much power worth of flyers in the air, and then a reasonable ground army, too. I don't think there's any way to make this trade better, though, is the problem. I mean, it does get... Well, this is going to become inactive eventually. Okay, I guess we can just bide our time. If we trade Stalkers for Stalkers, that's fine. We'll just gain a life here and hit for 2. Okay, this is fine. Yeah, I know we would be dealing 3 damage worth of Overwhelm, but the fact is... Alright, well now... Oh, now we get blown out by the Downpour. Okay, okay. We do gain a life because a dinosaur came into play? Why did we gain a life? No, we didn't gain a life, but this guy looked like he was doing something funky. Alright, so now we can block here for free. We can also block here and trade. Not sure how necessary that is. I'm slightly worried about my life total. We're just going to Spark and stun the 7/7 next turn. Yeah, I like this. This is fine. We keep our 4/4. So I'm assuming the 2/2 is going to go unblocked. The 4/4 might get chump blocked here. Alright, well either way we sparked them. So we stun their 7/7. I don't know. This could be fine. We're about to lose our 4/4 though, so that's annoying. Oh no, Nightfall. My opponent just made it nighttime again. That's good. That's really good for us. We get to keep our 4/4. So I think we might wind up trading our Yeti for a double block here. But I'd really like to get my Spark online. I'm not going to worry about taking 7 once. Yeah, we... Oh no, we're not. We're not. Oh, I had this too for the blowout on the double block. That's fine. Alright, so we're just going to play some monsters here. I kind of wanted them to double block so that I got a 3/3 flyer. 6/6 Berserk is kind of a big monster here. So I can get him for 4 with the Gale Prowler. I'm going to take 7. So I'm down to 8. So this guy is like pretty much lethal. And, oh wow, that's really good. Torrential Downpour is apparently just an insane card. Alright, let's play Torrential Downpour. Eat up all of their goats. Definitely want the change stick. Definitely want the change stick. I think we win this. We just Violent Gust this. Wait, do we have lethal here? No, we don't, right? We have so close to lethal here, though. We just have to be careful about this guy. So we want to make sure that we're playing everything, but we kill this, we get to hit them for 5 in the air, and then we could hit them for 4 on the ground. It's super close. But I don't think we're going to go for it. We're just going to do this. I know we could do that next turn, but we have the polymorph next turn, and I'm going to play this 1/1 as a chump blocker, and as potential for if they give one of their creatures flying. We really only lose to change stick here. Alright, this is fine. We have 2 chump blockers. Yeah, we could double block this, but I don't think I want to do that. I think I just want to block here and here. And then we're going to take 6. Wait, change stick isn't lethal. Oh my gosh. Oh, so I didn't have it. Oh, I died because of that lightning storm, didn't I? Wow, that lightning storm killed me. That was so close. Yeah, they get to spark that just loots them once. Change stick is only a +1/+1, which means I can play it. I can polymorph their 6/6. But then I have to chump block this, and then I take 4 and die. Man, we got him down to 1. That was such a close game. Such a close game. But, man, so what could I have done? I'm sure there was something, right? I don't know. I don't know. That lightning storm was just so brutal. They got a 2-for-1 on me, right? Yeah, they got a 2-for-1 on me with the lightning storm. A little bit unfortunate, but you know what? We are still doing quite all right. 3-1, and our only loss, we got our opponent down to 1. So that's got to feel okay, right? When the only game that you lose, you still come so close. Obviously, it hurts to come so close and lose. But ultimately, that's pretty okay. We don't have the time sigil. We do have Nightfall, which is a good early game card. But I'm going to redraw this hand. 2 dead draws in the opener. Not so great. This hand is also not so great with only 2 power sources. But yeah, no, this hand's just not great. 2 power sources, and then we also have the Instinct. Then we draw another card that we can't play just yet. I don't even want to play Grave Tender if we draw another land. Alright, Infinite Hourglass isn't super annoying, but not drawing a land is. We could draw lands for like the next 4 turns, and I'd be pretty happy with that. Endurance, Lifesteal. All right, that is a start here. So this guy's killer, right? No, it's Tribute. Okay. Reasonable, reasonable. We could Predator's Instinct and kill this Lifesteal guy. But I don't think we want to do that, really. I think we just want to attack. If they play a flyer, this can work out well. We get to play a 4/4 or a 3/3 flyer. Otherwise, I think we want to draw a land and play Hissing Spiketail. I'm not really sure. Alright, they decide to not rebuke. They are just coming in for 2 here. So far, everything is reasonable. I get to play a 4/4 Defender. Yeah, that's pretty good. Desert Marshal? Okay. We got a Desert Marshal out here. Yeah. Oh, this isn't great. Oh, wow. That's what I was hoping would happen, but I never thought that would. Mana efficiency? Yeah, mana efficiency. We'll play Grave Tender. I think my opponent was like afraid of a combat trick or something. I don't know. To be honest, when my opponent played Desert Marshal, I was like, okay, they're just going to trade with a Desert Marshal. And yeah, they're just gaining 2 health points here. That's just kind of what you assume is going to happen, right? All right, so they play a 1/4 flyer. This is all fine. We can play Violent Gust to deal with this. I do care about mana efficiency still. So, like, I think my opponent just had it in their mind that Desert Marshal trades with this. They played it and traded it and didn't think about it, you know? We would have been in an okay spot if they had blocked here. So I think I just want to play a 4/4 here. Yeah, I think I just want to go for mana efficiency, and I really want to draw some more lands. I know that this is going to draw my opponent more business, but I think we're in an okay spot. I don't really care about this 1/4 flyer. It does blank our hatchlings, but if we put out 2 hatchlings, then we blank their monster, and we've already blanked all of their ground monsters currently. So I'm feeling pretty okay about where we are. And now I think I play Hissing Spiketail. And then next turn we go double Dino. I guess we could swing with the 4/4 here. Doesn't really give us anything though, right? Yeah, let's just play Hissing Spiketail. All right, that is definitely getting Violent Gusted. I'm glad we saved our Violent Gust because that card needs to die. Change Stick is also sweet here. I need 1 more mana, actually, to make it work, so not just yet will we be playing the Change Stick. I'm pretty tempted to send in the Darkstalker and hope that it trades with this Deadly guy. If it doesn't, we could give this Killer and fight over here. Yeah, let's see what this gives us. If my opponent uses a spell on it, that seems even better. If my opponent uses like a perfect. All right, so we trade here, which is going to let us get our tribute on, so we'll be able to make this a 5/5 flyer. And let's kill this. And then I could use this opportunity while I have 1 mana left over to take out the Archive Curator. I don't think we need to. I think we've got the ground held down, and taking 1 point of damage in the air 1 or 2 more times is fine. That is going to turn into a frog. For sure. 5/5 flyer? I think 5/5 flyer, yeah. Alrighty. So you've got a frog, and we've got a flyer coming in for 5er. This is going to let this guy get in for 2 if they want. We'd have to double block and trade our Spiketail, but I think that's a good trade for us. So I don't think my opponent will actually go for that, now that I think about it. Our Spiketail's never going to have good attacks. It's only gaining us life when we play our dinosaurs, which is sweet, that we actually do have some Spiketail synergies there. But as far as everything else goes, I mean, yeah, this card is so good. Change Stick turned one of our guys into a bomb and then completely negated one of their cards. All right, so they're going to get in for 5. They could attack for this just to gain life points here. We would just block with our 3/3. Seems like a fine play for our opponent. I am tempted to killer this. Alright, and then they just play a 3/3. So yeah, I'm pretty tempted to killer this right now while we... what would be the best thing? Yeah, I'm tempted to killer this before they draw another card that will make it even bigger. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Now we have all of this stuff and our opponent has nothing. Wait, what? Oh, it had Deadly? That card had like fucking 10 keyword abilities and I'm supposed to realize that Deadly was one of them in there. Alright, that was definitely a mistake then. My opponent probably would have just traded if we had attacked. So that was silly. We could probably get in for 4 here. Our opponent knows that we have the snowball. So it's not like we can do any crazy bluffs here with this. Sure, yeah. I guess we wind up trading with the 2/5. Or do they block here and here? This is better for me. Oh, no, it's not. I was supposed to deal 4 damage to this. Whoops, I forgot what I was doing. I definitely forgot what I had set out to do that turn. Alright, a little bit flustered by the Deadly that my opponent has brought upon us, but this is still salvageable. Let's not give up here. So what, does my opponent have a tribute card? I don't know. We're going to block here. I think maybe they've got a trick. They probably don't have a downpour. Okay, yeah, they've got a Grave Tender. That is fine. Let's give a little scouting action here. Definitely going to put that on the bottom. Let's hold back the Gruon because our opponent doesn't know that's what we have yet. Thing is, we can't attack with both of these, but we could attack with just one of them. And then make our opponent do what we want. But I think we're just going to blank this by just forgetting about the ground creatures here. Alright, so let's snowball to finish off this flyer. And then let's play Scaly Gruon. So we've made some mistakes, but I think we're in a pretty favorable position on the board. Obviously, most of these cards are just sitting here looking at each other because I've got a bunch of high attack creatures and my opponent has a bunch of higher toughness creatures. Alright, Archive Curator's pretty annoying. It's a 17-turn clock, which I think we can definitely draw a bomb before that happens. Okay. Well, now we've got a 5-turn clock. I think if we lose this game, we deserve to lose this game because we have made some pretty bad mistakes. Downpour could be good. All right, now we are on a 2-turn clock. This will threaten off the 2/3 for 1 turn, but we're still on a 2-turn clock. My opponent swings with the Curator, then they swing with both of them. So I could chump block here, but I really just don't like doing that. I'm just going to hope my opponent attacks with both. Please one-time attack with both. Oh, okay, I got my wish. They're attacking with both monsters here. Well, like, have to draw Hatchling. No, I could draw the Spark card. No, I still lose. I think I just lose regardless. I can't think of anything that gets me out of this here. Yeah, blast doesn't even kill either of them. I guess I could have attacked into them and then blasted it, but then I'd have 4 less life points. I'd be at 2, and they'd still kill me with the other flyer. That was the thing. Like, I knew I needed to draw a card that somehow dealt with 2 flying creatures. That just wasn't going to happen. Oh, I could have killed this, and then that would have been 1 attacker, but that still would not have been enough. We're down to 2-3 after some pretty costly mistakes. Hopefully we can eke 2 more wins out of this one because, I don't know, this deck started so strong. We got some sweet clips for YouTube. If you're watching on Twitch, you can find a link to my YouTube channel in the panels in the description below there. I upload all of my past stream VODs as well as highlight videos and other sweet gaming-related things. A lot of Pokemon Go content and some other things there as well. But yeah, you can find the full stream there if you miss any of these games, especially those 2 games that we had back-to-back. Those were pretty sweet ones. And I don't know, hopefully we'll be able to still make something good happen out of this. I'll just play Elysian Banner here, turn 1. No reason not to. Well, I can torrential downpour that. I feel like holding on to torrential downpour, there is a reasonable chance I get some more value out of that. Especially combined with Shiver. Like, then they could play like a 3-3, and then on turn 3 I could get them both. Alright, well there is definitely some more value for the downpour. I'm going to take this opportunity to just play my Darkstalker here as a 4-4. That'll stop this guy's attacks, and they'll still probably attack with this guy. Well, I'd love to get these online. It's a nice combo with each other, right? I think we're just going to be playing Hissing Spiketail here, but let's smack for 4. That seems pretty free. I mean, Rabid Yeti actually just eats up this Silverwing Familiar as well, so maybe that should just be my play here now. Alright, these hatchlings are good. I think if I attack with Spiketail... Oh no, it definitely eats the Copperhall Porter. Alright, so I have to downpour before I can attack with the Spiketail. So I could go downpour Trumpeteer here, and then if they don't block, just play Hatchling. Alright, yeah, let's play Downpour. Then I get to Scout into the future. Apprentice we are definitely going to put on the bottom. That card doesn't do anything. And then I will swing in with the Spiketail. Yeah, they get to draw a Justice Sigil there. Not that they needed more of those. They've got 4 already. They will trade here. I am going to let these trade so that I can play a 4-4. So I lost some of my dino value here, but honestly, I think that's fine too. I could have shivered and killed the Silverwing Familiar, but I am pretty sure that I just want to killer the Silverwing Familiar. This is 8 damage to start sending in this guy. It's going to happen pretty soon. Alright, let's eat this guy. Still no great attacks for me. My opponent can send in this 7-3 for free here. I'll just block it with my 0-4. That guy I will definitely gobble up, though. So I'm not sure exactly what they're thinking. Maybe we will see a combat trick here. Is it worth also throwing away the hatchling just to guarantee we don't see a trick? I don't think so. I'd rather just have the trick come out. Sure, they trade a 1-mana card for my 4-mana card, But now we get it out of their hand. Maybe that's a little bit crazy. Yeah, because now I've got no board. Alright, let's play these guys. Let's smack for 2, I think. I mean, we could also, like, triple block the Town Watchman. Maybe we do need to triple block the Town Watchman. Triple block it with these 3, though. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Yeah, Shiver plus Downpour could have been okay, but what was I mean, that was a few turns ago. Was I just shivering the Silverwing Familiar? I don't think that really would have helped too much there. Torch is certainly annoying. And I think we are losing our foothold on this game here now. Not that we had too much to begin with. I think this is going to be the end to this draft, unfortunately. Yeah, now we need to draw, like, Jotun Freezer. I have no good blocks. Now I have to triple block this 6/5. I get to huddle together after I do it, but... even that's not great. They still take my 2 hatchlings. Pretty much huddle together just to save my 2/2. Is that even good? I don't think huddle together just to save my 2/2 is any good. I'm going to let my 2/2 die. My opponent's going to play a huge Warcried monster at some point. There we go. That's pretty big. Yeah, I didn't care too much about shivering the 1/1 just because we had the 2/2 fighter. I think this is kind of just our deck catching up with us at this point. So we're going to take 6 this turn, and then... yeah, I guess that's a better attack, because we would have taken 5 if they just A-space. But another Time Sigil means we're going to go down to 1 after this attack. Like I said, this is a worse attack, but it lets my opponent push more out onto the battlefield. So we take 5, go down to 2 instead, and then my opponent gets to play yet another monster, but they decide not to. And then we draw Cliffside Caretaker. Well, it's our first Cliffside Caretaker of the draft. Let's shiver, see what happens, see one more card here. Oh, it's Nightfall. Oh, Shiver's Nightfall. I was thinking Shiver was Scout. Okay, so maybe shivering could have helped us a little bit by, like, giving us some weird tempo. It turned this into a monster. Oh, shit. All right, well, maybe. All right, my opponent is going to go for the tempo win, and I'm going to play my huddle so that they know that they can just pass the turn here. My Terriex hatchlings gain flying, but that is going to be it for me. That ends us 3-3 here. A little disappointing to start 3-0 and then lose the next 3, but we still had some fun games, and that's what's important. I'll open up these 2 packs, and then I will end the stream here. Again, if there's any part of the stream that you missed, you can find it on my YouTube channel, which you can find the links to in the description below. And for those of you watching on YouTube, you can catch me live at twitch.tv/NoLucksGiven, where you can find the full streams live and chat and interact with me. Pretty cool stuff. Nothing much more to say. I don't know. We, what did we get there? We got two gold chests and a silver chest, so that's like what? It's like 2,500 gold, but we also got 3 legendaries in that draft, if you remember. We got End Hostilities, obviously, End of Hostilities, and then that other weird one, and Elysian. So, yeah, we got End Hostilities, Lyda's Apprentice, and then Elysian Imperial Armorer. So, when you factor in those things, the draft wasn't that bad, all things considered. And, yeah, most of these cards aren't new. They just have the word new in their name, right? At least 2 of them have the word new in their name. That's pretty funny. Somebody pointed that out to me during my pack opening. So, yeah, this has new in it. This has news, bad news, a new tomorrow. Pay 4 to play in a fiction. I don't know. Is this new or why is this... Why is this here? Maybe this card's actually new? I don't know. Enemy, draw, kill an enemy. Oh, draw bad news. Okay, so this one gives you bad news. So obviously that's why that one shows up in new. So why does this one show up in new? Maybe this one was just new to me. Let's do it again. No? Okay, something is new about this card. Velia the Vein. Give it N. New. I'm just looking to see, like, if new is spelled out by any, like, combination of words like non or nen. Doesn't look like it. It's I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong here again. I've got to go out and then go back in. All right, somebody's got to solve this riddle for me. Why is this card considered new? Pay 4 to play an Affliction. Affliction gives the cursed unit -2/-1. The vein. It's got to be some weird coding thing then, where deadly is... Alright, let's see. You guys still following me here? Deadly. Are there any other cards that have deadly? Yes, that end in an N. There's 2 other cards. Deadly. Bond, deadly. Enemy unit. I'm not sure. I'm going to ask Reddit because I'm confused. I feel like it's got to be something similar, like it just appears in, like if we were to type in Nen. No, but if we were to type in N space EN, sure. So it does register spaces into the enemy deck. No, wait, how does this N space EN? Maybe N space EN just searches for N and searches for EN. Who knows? But that's going to be it. Thank you guys very much for watching. I'm NoLucksGiven. Peace.